One of my favorite countries in the world, New Zealand. I'm about 2 hours south from Christchurch. I'm just on my way to Lake Tekapo, one of the best viewing spots here in South Island. Nice starting point of my journey is this small town called Fairlie. I'm just on the way there, and I'll make my way through down to Queenstown and all the way back to Christchurch. Fairlie, look out here. I have this little compass. I'll show you where I am. There's all the locations of all the places around South Island. And here I've got Fairlie right in front. As you see before, it's just nice beautiful mountain ranges. And the scenery will dramatically change as I'm going more south towards Lake Tekapo and then down to Queenstown. In Fairlie there's a very popular shop or bakery called the Fairlie Bakehouse. It's quite literally a pastry shop. I'm having the pork belly steak, which really sounds really good, and I have a standard coffee right there. That's really nice. I've never had pork belly steak before. You know this pie is actually pork belly and apple pie. I didn't know that. When I bought it, I thought it was just pork, but it's actually there's an apple pie over there. I've never had anything so unique before. It's really, really nice. How clear is that water? The Church of Good Shepherd. One of the most beautiful churches in the world, not because it's building, it's because its location, right, facing the lake itself. Now this is the bridge looking towards the lake. It's crossing this area here. And there's that church in the distance. As the sun sets, the color of the lake is kind of transformed from a nice blue color reflecting the sun into a more icy, cold, freezing lake where you can ice skate. It's completely transformed the view of this area. I'm looking at the moon. I am looking at the moon. Finally shown itself after the sun has set. Just right behind the mountain, it's going up towards the sky. A short drive from Lake Tekapo is another body of water called Lake Pukaki, just right behind me, and you can see in the distance a stunning mountain range. The lake itself is a very large lake on the base of Mount Cook, and as you can see I'm walking right here. There's some seats, something like this, something that you don't really see in many parts of the world, really. Look at those snow-capped mountains. You know, nothing really beats breakfast in kind of next to a lake like this. It's such a fantastic weather. You can see the sun on my face. One of the best breakfasts I've ever had, because look at that behind me. Love it. From lakes to mountains. I'm right here, the foot of Mount Cook. So you can see the sign here. I'm going towards Kea Point track on the left side. It'll be an hour walk towards the viewpoint. This is the start of Kea Point track. And they have a sign here. Avalanche danger. Because I'm in the low area, it should be kind of like here, subalpine low. It's pretty cool. Never seen anything like this before. How amazing does this look? I've arrived at Kea Point, facing towards the Mueller Glacial Lake. Now, it's a glacial lake is because it was a glacier long time ago. You see that wall right behind me? It was actually left by the glacier itself. So all the sediments, all the stuff from the glacier actually formed that little barrier, and on the other side towards the top of Mount Cook, which you can see right behind me, it's actually a lake, a Mueller Lake. As I said before, this is all the kind of wall that was formed by the glaciers, and this is like the remaining glacial lake called Lake Mueller right behind it. And you can see the top of Mount Cook. This is Mount Sefton. It's closer than Mount Cook, but it looks bigger because of the distance. Just 2 hours away from the snow-capped mountains of Mount Cook is a place called Lindis Pass. The landscape has changed from the snow-capped mountains into a very nice brown colored hills with this kind of grassland and bushes. Now this is the main road connecting between Queenstown and Lake Tekapo. Again, the landscape has completely changed from all the hills of Lindis Pass to now Kawarau Gorge. Pioneer Energy is an example of hydro station. It's nice to be back in Queenstown. I'm here at the Skyline gondola going up all the way. View of the city of Queenstown. Always nice to be back here. One of the most beautiful cities here in New Zealand. Queenstown is such a beautiful city. It doesn't matter how many times I come here, it's always so beautiful to look at the mountains and that scenery. The city of Queenstown itself always has a really nice vibe. Surrounded by mountains. It kind of is a tourist trap, but at the same time, it's a very, very nice, beautiful place to be. It's about 45 minutes from Queenstown up north. It's a small town called Glenorchy. The highlight of this small town isn't really much, but you can see this very picturesque kind of shed right facing towards the mountain and the lake. Glenorchy was one of the sites that was used in the movie Lord of the Rings as Isengard. It's very windy, as you probably can hear the sound of the wind. It's very cloudy too, but being here is worth it, even with the clouds. Now I'm walking towards the wharf of the town, looking towards the mountain. It's a shame it's a bit cloudy today, but at least it doesn't rain. A little bit windy. The whole South Island is a very magical place, and if you have a chance, you can come down here and kind of see it for yourself.